Hello, friend. If you are new here, welcome. If you are new to breastfeeding and pumping, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Rochelle. I have 3 under 3. I have 2-year-old twins and an 8-month-old baby right now. And I wanted to share with you a little bit about my breastfeeding and pumping journey. If you are brand new to breastfeeding and pumping, it can be really intimidating and awkward, and I used to think it was like the most natural thing in the world, and it is when you've been doing it every single day. But in the beginning, it can be really uncomfortable and strange, and you don't know if you're doing it right. Why am I going to all this trouble when I could just pour some formula into water and call it a day? But once you have breastfeeding down, it is just one of the most beautiful things ever. And I understand not every mom can breastfeed, and that is completely okay. But if you are able to breastfeed, it is just a wonderful bonding experience with your baby. And it is so amazing what our bodies can do, that God designed our bodies to sustain this little life outside. It is such a sweet thing. When we had our twins a little over going on 3 years ago, and I was exclusively breastfeeding them. I had to supplement with formula for about 2 months when they were first born, but after that, just breastfeeding all the way up until 18 months because I was pregnant with our third, so I stopped at 18 months. So it's kind of crazy to think I've been essentially breastfeeding for almost 3 years now. I had a hard time in the beginning because I had something rare called demur. So on top of my postpartum depression, I had demur. So it was like anytime milk was like the letdown happened, I just felt like an immense sadness and just very uncomfortable with my body. And coupled with postpartum depression and being a first-time mom and twins on top of that, it was just a lot. So in the beginning, it took me some time to really get used to breastfeeding, but I was committed to learning, and I'm so glad that I did. And so I want to encourage you that you are made for this. You can absolutely breastfeed your baby and sustain your baby. It takes some time for you to learn how to breastfeed, and your baby is also learning how to breastfeed for the first time too, so you're learning together. But there's so many great benefits to breastfeeding, and something that I learned in the hospital with our twins is if it's hurting, you're doing it wrong.
That's Mama's Milkies.
Yeah, that's Mama's Milkies.
Don't touch Mama's Milkies.
If it's starting to hurt, don't get scared and think, oh, I can't do this, it hurts too much. Just know that, oh, I'm probably not doing it the right way. Let me try again, because it should not be a painful experience. I have been using the Medela pump. It's called like Style Pro. I can link to it since having our twins. And I love it. I use it all the time. I also use Hakas when I, just need to catch some milk. I don't need to sit down for a full session. And Dr. Brown's bottle sterilizer and dryer is a game changer. With our twins, we just had a sterilizer. It didn't have the drying feature, and it was such a pain. So this time we got the dryer and sterilizer on our registry, and it's been just so incredibly helpful. In this video, I wanted to do things a little differently than my regular videos, so I left in the audio in the background, if you can tell, but just to try to capture what real life is like with baby and toddlers. I kind of want to try to be as real as possible in a world where we are constantly playing the comparison game every day because we are constantly comparing ourselves to other people on social media, and we don't realize that's not real life. There's a lot of staging, and I'm not saying that's wrong necessarily, but I think sometimes as moms we get down on ourselves because we are like, oh, I wish I was like this mom, and she has her life all together, and her life looks so easy or so much better than mine, and really that's not true.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Even just like, how come I'm not making as much milk like this mom is, So I just wanted to kind of have a messier format video, if you want to call it that, but just to encourage you that all moms, we struggle, whether it's our first or our third. We all need help and encouragement, and to be a little more gentle on ourselves, give ourselves grace, and at the end of the day, that we are doing the best that we can, and God has made us for such a time as this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.